Welcome back. Hey, what a delight to have back with us today our good friend Dan Celia. He's the CEO of Financial Issues Stewardship Ministry, FISM. He's also the host of a national radio talk show on finances, Financial Issues Live. We are still working to get a show on the Dove Radio. We had a bad storm come through here and wipe out a bunch of our equipment and satellite things, but we'll get that solved. And you can check it out. Financialissues.org is his website. Hi, buddy. Good to see you, man.
Perry, great to be with you. I sure appreciate being here.
Yeah, you're a great guy. And listen, a lot to talk to you about in a short amount of time.
Okay.
Trump versus Hillary and the economy, certainly the big issue. Who do you trust most? And why?
Oh, wow. You had to use that word trust, huh? I'm not going there, but I will say that I would feel more confident, certainly from an economic standpoint, with Donald Trump. I mean, here's the thing. So a lot of people and analysts are saying, well, Donald Trump's an unknown. That is true from an economic perspective and how he might impact the economy. But the bigger problem that I have is Hillary is a known. We know what Hillary's ideology is from an economic perspective. And it's basically going to be to continue the fundamental change that Barack Obama has started for America. And from an economic perspective, we cannot, here's what would happen, Perry. So we would have 4 more years of a Congress doing what they're very good at, and that is doing nothing. But we would have 4 years of doing nothing. Because if the Congress remains under Republican control, they're not going to pass anything. They're not going to do anything. And our economy is too fragile to be able to withstand, in my opinion, another 4 years of doing nothing.
All right. It's, we got Hillary and Bernie going for the nomination, and nobody's been able to tell me the difference between a Democrat and a socialist. So let's just keep them together just for a moment. Okay. And that is, at the end of the day, we may have socialism versus capitalism. That may be the debate.
Yes, you're right about that, Perry. And here's the from a debate standpoint, the beauty of it. Socialism has never worked to bring personal prosperity or lift the middle class and create opportunities. And it has never worked to do that, where capitalism has been the only system, economic system, that has done that. And it is amazing to me how we could even contemplate going to what is a failed system. And I suppose there are so many people that have just given up. Some people that have said, you know what, I'm okay. I'm okay with that opportunity for my children or grandchildren, because they're going to do what I do and get used to the idea that the government is going to provide most of our needs, if not all of our needs, and we'll be fine. Yes, we'll be paying higher taxes, but what's the difference? They're going to provide so many other things for us.
Dan, as you well know, every political cycle, one of the hot political footballs or potatoes is the middle class. Yes. Everybody argues and positions themselves for the middle class. First of all, can you define the middle class for us?
Well, first of all, the middle class has diminished a great deal in the last 8 years, and I think it's going to continue to do so if we don't see some change. The middle class are basically the people that aren't, so my opinion is those people that aren't in the upper 5%, not 1% or 2%, but 5% of wage earners, and that aren't in that those wage earners, let's say below $35,000 a year. And the rest of that is the middle class that has opportunity for prosperity, so to speak. Now, prosperity comes in all forms, but is that middle class working American that continues to thrive and to be able to provide for their family without government assistance. And maybe a lot of them will never attain the upper 5%. That's perfectly okay. Maybe they're striving to get to the upper 15%, but nonetheless, there will be opportunity for that. And coming out of World War II, we began building a middle class that no society on the face of the earth has ever seen since. And we saw factory workers that were putting their children through college on their wages. We had an industrial revolution. I know times were very different, but certainly a middle class is someone that is going to be proud of what they're able to do and how they're able to provide for their family.
All right, so if the left wants to have the middle class dependent upon government, that puts us less than a generation away from total socialism. But we're not sure what Trump's economic plan will do for the middle class. I mean, if he wants to put large tariff on things coming into the country, is that an incentive for the industrial part of our country to rebuild itself internally, in other words, and give these jobs? I mean, can we bring Ford back from Mexico? Can we bring GM back from China?
Yeah. You know, here's what I believe. I believe the whole idea of these large tariffs, he is already beginning to change his tone on that as he sits with people that understand that. And I think he'll continue to do that. But if Trump is going to rebuild America, he's got to rebuild the middle class. I believe that we can bring back industry. As a matter of fact, I believe that we could have an industrial revolution because we have an energy revolution going on here. And two things that we have to bring America back, or to bring industry back here, the people that have left, and more in here that is going to build the middle class, is an abundant flow of energy, uninterrupted and inexpensive energy. And that trumps, pun intended, that trumps cheap labor, because our productivity rate of the average American worker, even today, is higher than it is anywhere else in the world. So, but one of the concerns of industry around the world is this interruption of the flow of their energy, their electricity, or what they need to manufacture. And I believe that with the energy revolution that has already begun, we can bring industry back to America, and we can have a thriving middle class again. But we got to have tax reform, which Trump is willing to do and is going to do. We have to have regulatory reform, which he is willing to do. I think Clinton is going to mean more regulation and very little tax reform. Those two things alone, and it's not even, Perry, it's not even that, well, we're going to lower taxes or we're going to get rid of regulation. That's not the point. The bigger thing is, when you talk to corporate America and corporate executives, they will tell you they just don't want it to be a moving target. Yes, they want lower taxes to be competitive around the world, but they want to know that this is it, so they can plan on how do we deal with these taxes and how are they going to impact our bottom line in years to come. And right now, there is no confidence that the government's not going to continue to make change after change after change. That's a huge factor for companies and economies.
Boy, that's very, very well said. Let me say to our viewers and listeners again, you can go to financialissues.org. That's Dan's website, and check out his resources there. By the way, Dan, just quickly, what will they find at your website, and how will they benefit by going there?
Well, one of the things you'll find is some pieces of commentary that I do every day. I do some 2-minute commentary. We have video clips from today's program on the website on a regular basis. They can get to other video clips to get some of my insights, not necessarily the right insights or the wrong, but insights from a biblical perspective, Perry, on where we are in the economy, how we can honor the Lord in all that we're doing with the money that he's given us, whether it's a lot or a little. The principles are the same. no matter what. So a lot of great information, articles that I've written. I write a newsletter every week, other articles that I write that are published in different places. And hopefully it'll begin a road of becoming more educated about the economy and about how to be a good financial steward of all that God's given them.
All right, again, that's financialissues.org. Dan, that's where I wanted to go next. I am really seeing a good side to the bad economy. And that is a lot of believers are saying, wait a minute, I can't trust anything. I got to get debt free. I got to get this pressure off my back. I know ministries like yours and others are now being flooded with people saying there has to be another way to manage this. Are you seeing that?
Oh, Perry, it's such a big way. And I'm glad you brought that up. And I'm glad to hear you say it because it is so true. I'm 100% on board with what you just said. That has been, I say that what has happened in the past 7 years has been a great awakening for a sleeping giant of conservative evangelical Christians in a lot of ways. But we are seeing so much activity in our website, so much growth in the ministry that God has given us. People are, the reason the economy is struggling so much is because people are, and I even find this in younger demographics, are saying, I got to get out of debt. First and foremost, I don't want to go through a downturn. There is so much fear about the economy that it's actually a good thing for the family because people are getting back to basics, buying smaller houses, starting to think about their needs, not their wants, and adjusting their spending and their habit of maybe was a habit of getting into debt and realizing that it's far more important to save than it is to get, that we've got to stay out of debt. So many good things have come out that I pray will last for generations going into the future.
Well, I just want to encourage our viewers and listeners again, this is Dan's heart and soul to help you with this. This is what his program's all about. And you can go to Financial Issues Live or Google that, but his website is financialissues.org and take advantage of his resources. Dan, before I run out of time, whoever becomes president, how would you grade our economy today? Some people say we are on the verge of an unbelievable collapse. Do you feel that?
Well, if we continue on the path that we're in, yes, it's got to happen. But here's the thing, Perry. I believe that there's still time to fix it and change it. We just have to be willing to take on a little bit more pain, not a catastrophic event like a depression, but a little bit more pain. And we need to run the car into the ditch, I always say. In other words, we are going over the cliff, headed for the cliff at about 120 miles an hour. We're not going to fix it and turn it around right away. But if we can run it into the ditch, take some time to repair it, get it back up on the road, turned around in the other direction, I think there's hope for the economy. And what I really don't like saying, and it saddens me to think, that we are so dependent upon what Washington does right now. So dependent. It is really going to be, because our economy, regardless of from a purely number standpoint, how much trouble we're in, the bigger issue is we are so fragile. It's only going to take one geopolitical event or one unexpected event, interruption in the flow of oil or something dramatic, and we're so fragile, we're not going to survive it. So I think that if we can just change our direction gradually, it doesn't have to be a dramatic change. I think we can do this. And the reason I say that, Perry, is because I'm a capitalist. Yeah. There's $4 trillion on the sidelines.
Got to go here, bud.
We can get that in.
Okay, I'm sorry to do that to you. You know the clock. You know the clock very well. Financialissues.org. Dan, I want to get you back. I want to get your feel on what would be the best tax system, a flat tax, consumption tax. I'd like to hear your point of view on that because I think that's a big part of what you're talking about. Thank you, brother. Appreciate what you do.
Love to do it.
And stay in touch, okay?
We'll do it. Thank you, Perry.
All right, God bless. We'll see you next time on Focus Today.
I'm Paulina Leiser, producer of Focus Today. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to check our other videos at theDove.us.